A note on Alexander Nevsky. This is more or less a classic film, included on the list of the New York Times best 1000 movies ever made, and on others. And if we consider that it was made nearly 100 years ago, I'm exaggerating with about 2 decades, probably, but still, if we consider this is made a long time ago, some of the achievements are astonishing, and not just that. It's a powerful story, beautifully made for any age, and that's the reason why this is from a multitude of films made in that period. This is selected and included with the best. Um, Having said that, I have qualms, and I'm subjective, biased on the subject. This is a Russian film, after all. Praising the Russian fighters for freedom, and talking about Mother Russia and the fact that they will never, enemies will never win over them, things like that. And I'm thinking, I cannot prevent myself from thinking, well, first of all, these are the guys, the descendants, of course, right? And part of those who allowed the film and encouraged some ideas behind it, even if Eisenstein, the director, had difficult relationships with the Soviet nomenclatura, the leaders, and at times he was even banned, so to say. So I'm thinking, well, what about this land where you brought in communism? You affected my life and the lives of all those who lived here and are born even now here, because the system is really corrupt and we're paying the price. Well, we can't attribute everything to the Soviets, of course, and communism, but so much of that is, I mean, learned pessimism, and so much of that is a consequence of these guys, the Soviets, bringing in here this system, probably in defense of motherland. And then what about Ukraine? Oh, I forgot, that's theirs too. They're defending when they take Crimea. In the first place, they don't take it when they asked the little green man, infamous now. They don't have any Russians fighting in. But then when it becomes part of Russia, well, it's all territory. And then Georgia, Abkhazia, and Ossetia. Anyway, as I say, I'm biased, I admit, and I associate Russian patriotism and defending the land with actually conquering other people's territory. Returning, it's true. This is it, the 13th century, so an unbiased, objective viewer should detach from what's going on now and see it in perspective. 13th century, the Russians are attacked by Teutons, Germans, so to say, and in fact, perhaps we can go back and explain from the childhood of the nation to what's going on in the present, from what happened in Second World War to their mistrust, anxiety, and tendency to blame it on the West and believe that the West is keen to defeat them. So when Putin follows this model of the autocrat, defender of the nation against the fabricated menace from the West, maybe they have a point in saying, look what happened in the 13th century, look what happened with Napoleon, and then Germans, or the Nazis. But then it can be also turned on its head, this argument, and say they're actually speculating. They're selling these stories to make people believe their propaganda. So it reminded me of Planes Are Flying. There's this woman who selects to marry the bravest, and a patriotism taken to a nationalism taken to an extreme, as I see it. And I've seen that in Planes Are Flying and other Soviet, Russian films. And otherwise, the film is good if you look at it. Without, as I said, without prejudice, as I did. And look at the achievement, the astonishing landscapes, the battlefield, and all that beautiful story otherwise.